and it did balance the budget. You've got to have control of the
taxes, which is how they balance the budget. But they raise taxes. I mean, that is how Bill Clinton.
Not that much.
But
Which got no Republicans.
Zero votes.
No, and put the
got back to the 70% it was under Ronald.
No.
Well, who's going to raise taxes back to 70%? The thing that worries.
Thank you.
I don't think Republicans will ever turn on Trump because Paul Ryan has made it pretty clear that he is going to use Trump's right hand as he right-handed to get the things that Paul Ryan wants.
Right.
And Paul Ryan essentially wants to repeal the 20th century. He wants to privatize Social Security if he can, gut Medicare, gut Medicaid, gut food stamps, essentially throw the poor onto the mercy of charities and churches, turn everything into a fistful of vouchers, a voucher for you to go to school, which you're not going to have to pay for because Ms. DeVos wants to privatize it, a voucher for you to buy health insurance. Good luck if the voucher isn't enough for you to pay for a policy that can actually help you when you're really sick. And that fistful of voucher strategy, they can throw it on Trump and say, well, Trump signed it. And then,
do you really want to bankrupt Social Security?
Are you kidding? Social Security, that's the biggest myth that Republicans push. Social Security is not going to be bankrupt. Social Security has a 7-year plan. You say that because you want to privatize it. You guys have been doing that since the past. You never wanted it. Republicans have never wanted it to exist.
The political scene during Donald Trump's presidency was marked by significant change, with few moments better highlighting the Republican Party's internal struggles than a debate between Bill Maher and Joy Reid. They discussed the GOP's alliance, with Trump questioning whether the party compromised its core values to maintain power. Maher asked Reid whether Republicans paved the way for Trump's rise or merely revealed their true priorities. Figures like Paul Ryan, once a prominent conservative leader, seemed to yield to Trump's influence, raising concerns about the party's direction. They debated issues such as fiscal responsibility, government programs, and how the GOP shifted toward supporting high spending and tax cuts under Trump. Was this shift a natural evolution of the GOP, or just a temporary phase? Maher and Joy debate exposed contradictions within the party and posed a critical question. Will anyone in the GOP rise to challenge the status quo?
Well, look, when we got to the 1980s...
You don't want it to exist?
No, I do want it to get it.
Oh, you do?
Heck, I'm going to be on it. but listen, you how much is our debt here? What, $22 trillion?
Down under Obama.
He added $8 trillion to this. The point is, if we bankrupt the country, then we are going to do this.
That you don't scare people to privatization.
On cutting the deficit and the debt. He doesn't even talk about the debt. He doesn't even pretend to be a fiscal conservative. He basically said, here he stands up there and he's going to say, we're not going to touch any of the entitlement programs. Joy and I disagree on this.
So Donald Trump and Joy agree.
Yes. But he goes out and he says, yes, but we'll cut foreign aid. Or we're going to cut the national endowment for the party.
These things
big spending.
You could not find with a jeweler's eye if you look at the budget. Yeah.
It's complete magical thinking. I mean, listening to Trump's speech a couple days ago, I was, we're going to, dying industries will roar back to life. We will just unleash our dreams and make it happen. I thought, whoa, Tinkerbell's going to come down too.
Like Trump University.
Well, at least...
The discussion offered a progressive perspective, criticizing Donald Trump and today's Republican Party while highlighting deep divisions in conservative principles. Bill Maher described Trump as a transformative figure who pushed the GOP's leadership into an uneasy alliance, steering the party away from its traditional values. Maher and his guests argued that the GOP, once defined by small government and fiscal discipline, now embraces Trump's populist agenda. The panel expressed disappointment not only in Trump, but also in Republican leaders who, they said, prioritized power over principles. The conversation portrayed the GOP as a party at a crossroads. Some members remain loyal to Trump, while others feel uneasy about his leadership but lack the resolve to break away. It underscored the ongoing struggle between Trump's influence and the party's original identity.
Big laugh line for you, slowing the rise of the ocean. It's not funny. The fact that the oceans are rising and getting not just warmer but more acidic, correct, Bill? Of course he didn't. He did make a start with the Paris Climate Accord. You know how hard that is to get 200 countries to sign on to something? And now your idiot is going to rescind it. But yes, did he do it? No, he didn't do it in the time he was in office.
8 years. That's good.
Okay, we're talking about carbon in the atmosphere. It took 200 years to get there.
Well, then why did he say he could do it?
He didn't say. He said we're going to begin to slow the rise of the oceans.
Your guy.
And he didn't.
He did, if you count.
Your guy wants to speed it up. I mean, this afternoon, one of the things that Obama did that was very smart was manage to get through the mileage regulations that said that we would be by the middle of the next decade be having averaging 50 miles to the gallon or 54 or whatever for cars. Something that technologically we're completely able to do without any problem. I mean, we live in a world where, say, Norway has announced that all cars will be electric there by within 5 years. Today it became clear.
Nordstrom's is.
Today it became clear that the EPA was not only going to gut that, not only going to take back the request of the automakers, take that back. They're talking about taking away the one thing that's really California's particular ability. California is the one state that has its own ability to regulate pollution.
But Jeff,
they take that away.
In general, I asked this of Bill before we brought it up. You do believe in theory, of course, I'm guessing, of things that we can't see, like germs and atoms.
God.
Bill Maher and his panel strongly criticized Trump's handling of climate change, particularly his decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement, which they saw as rejecting global collaboration on a critical issue. They discussed the tension between politics and science, where research is disregarded in favor of populist rhetoric and corporate interests. One key point was Exxon's early knowledge of climate change in the 1970s, highlighting how major oil companies understood the impact of carbon emissions yet funded campaigns to deny it. The panel likened this denial to debates over evolution or flat Earth theories, stressing the absurdity of ignoring climate science in the face of overwhelming evidence. The Trump administration's rollback of environmental protections was described as more than just policy. It was seen as a choice between acknowledging facts or ignoring them. The panel's message was clear: as the effects of climate change intensify, denying it is not only irresponsible, it's dangerous.
Global warming. We can't really see it, although we see its effects all the time.
Bill, all I'm saying, I'm a skeptic, I don't say hoax.
But scientists aren't.
Right, well, see, but
scientists aren't.
Bill, this is the problem, as I see it, is that too much politics has infected all sorts of sectors of our society, including science. I want the science.
No.
When I hear the term that 97% of the whatever scientists and have reached a consensus, Bill, is a political word. It is not a scientific word. Is there a consensus that the Earth is round?
It can be both.
Whether there is or not, it's a fact.
But you do understand that the scientific method is that if you do an experiment 100 times and you get the same result 99 times,
Then I'm gonna
you
try
get a
to go
99% consensus.
Here's what
that
they
this
mean
is
by
true.
that. Here's what they mean by
That's what they did, right?
Like when Darwin published Origin of the Species in 1859, it was many decades before there was a consensus about it, because the other scientists in the world were like, well, that's interesting. Let's see if we can prove it
That's right.
wrong. That's how science works. And after many decades, they were like, well, we can't. Darwin's right.
Right, that's right.
And now we're at that point with this
In
particular issue.
this case, we were at it a long time ago.
Yes,
Good
we were at it a
investigative
long
reporting. Good investigative reporting in the last few years has shown that
Right.
Exxon knew everything there was to know about climate change by 1977 to 1981. Their scientists were telling their senior management exactly how much it was going to warm, and their senior management was taking it seriously. They began building their drilling rigs to compensate
way,
for the rise in
Rex
sea level they knew would come.
Rex Tillerson of Exxon is the one who doesn't want to pull out of the Paris Agreement.
That's right. That's
The Exxon guy is
He's
our
the-
best hope.
He's the mad dog madness.
The debates around the Republican Party's alignment with Trump and its evolving values brings up important questions. Has the GOP truly moved away from its principles, or is this simply the natural progression of politics? Similarly, when it comes to climate science, is skepticism a valid perspective, or is it a dangerous dismissal of evidence? We'd love to hear your opinions. Share your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Thanks for watching.